you who are going to Beyonce's concert, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. How dare you call yourself a Christian? I don't care what pastor you got that is okay with it. I don't care what pastor you got that think it's cool. I don't care what pastor you got that's singing along to their song because they want some clout. Why you think that man called himself Jehovah? It was short for Jehovah. When a witch has a coven, it's normally a small thing. Witches' covens are normally 3 to 7 people. When it becomes thousands, it's called a hive. Y'all are part of that lady beehive? And you call yourself a Christian?
Yeah, she should have came from a more, not such a venomous place. Like, I mean, even if you don't want to talk about, you don't want people going to Beyonce, honestly, that's really none of your business to say because you're not God. Mm-hmm. You could have literally just told yourself, I'm going to pray for them, for those who are going to Beyonce concerts. My thing is, I just don't understand why she was so, like, going for Beyonce if you're not wrapped up listening to her every day. You used to be doing it. So how are you that affected by it that you make a whole sermon about it?
I feel like she has listened to all the songs because even myself, I haven't listened to all the songs. Why? Because I don't want to listen to anything about Thought Girls, so I'm not going to listen to that because that's not my life.
Yeah.
You know, that's not my life, right now and whatever. Maybe it was, I don't know, 30 years ago. Actually, I don't think it ever was my life when I think hard about it. But what I'm saying is that the only song that I listened to was You Won't Break My Soul.
Yeah. Everything
else, I did not. As soon as I press it and I said, or I see the title, okay, that's not for me. You would have had to listen to it to
have this much
know
venom.
what was said. But I will not be one to go talk about Beyonce's album that she just made because I have not listened to it. But you can only speak about what you know. So I'm wondering, and if I was a pastor, I will not. If I'm not listening to those songs now, and I'm not even a pastor, then you damn sure know that if I become a pastor, I will not be listening to stuff like that, or a minister or something. I won't be listening to stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So for you to talk so well about the album, I mean, did you listen to it?
Of course,
because I'll be trying to guard my ears.
Listen, I know she talked about how she was saved and all this bota bata, but I don't know about that.
Yeah, I might just feel like, and I know how it can be, but I feel like you are older than my 20-year-old self when I was so judgmental of everybody else. Like you're a woman probably in your, you look really good for your age, but you probably are older than your 20s, right? And so I'm expecting to have a little more wisdom than that and how hard you went out for it. And yes, it's true that God does have laws, right? He has laws. He has rules. There are consequences if you break them. That's all true. But we also have to let people know that he is a forgiving God. Like he forgives, when you come to him with a humble heart, right? And a praying tongue. So, like there's a balance there. He's not just all about just chastising us. If he were to chastise us and everyone could see it, I don't think anybody will be standing up right now. If he were to come into that congregation she was talking to and say, I'm going to put chastisement on anyone who has broken my laws, like we will all be on the floor.
Including you.
Including her, right. So I just feel like
it was just too
we
much.
have to take a dose of humility.
It was too much, especially for someone who used to listen to Beyonce. You're sitting there with a tattoo on your arm. You're wearing
all your arms are showing,
and you're wearing a fitted dress.
The dress was quite fitted. Her hair was not covered.
No, it was not.
She had like somebody's probably hair on her head.
Even the Christian, I wonder, it's not just Muslim women who are supposed to cover, but it also says it in the Bible that women are supposed to cover as well. I have a niece
who told me that in the Bible it says to cover your head, to cover your hair. So I do know some Christians who cover their hair because they say that it says so in the Bible. Her head was not covered.
So are you reading it?
She looked to have some weave. And after Chris Rock did that thing of my hair.
Yes, remember? The Indians. You know what they do? They donate their hair, the weave, to their gods. To their gods. And so you're putting it on your head.
I'm just wondering what you
better
got on
hope
your
it's
hair because
synthetic.
it looked like a weave to me. So it's all of those things. You're standing there with a whole tattoo on your arm. I don't know what it says, but you are supposed to mark yourself. But God has forgiven you, though, right? And look at you, you're there as a pastor, right? So why not show that same grace to Beyonce?
And to whoever
Or
listens
to
to her.
tell her too, like, Beyonce, this is the whatever. You say you're a Christian, you shouldn't be talking about XYZ. We're here to welcome you. If you need to know more, call me or contact me or whatever.
Or why don't you just pray?
Or reach out to her or pray.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Obviously, you're not even fit to help anybody. I don't even know how you're a pastor.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned,
Well, we don't want
you
to say
should
she's
just
not
pray.
fit because, maybe she is
That
fit.
is my opinion.
But
and if y'all want to disagree with me, that's fine.
But that venom was, I don't know
It
what
was just
Beyonce did to
like,
you.
I don't know
It
how
seemed
you're
personal.
a pastor and you're being so judgmental.
Oh.
Like me, if I had that position, I would not be trying to be judgmental. If anything, I'll be trying to bring people in and try to do with as much kindness, grace, and love as possible.
Let me tell
I would
you.
not be talking about celebrities and drop in like how you aren't this and you're not. I'm not fit to
Because
tell you you're not
spending
Christian.
so much time talking about
On both
celebrities.
sides, and
like,
there
the
probably are
celebrities,
people-
not God. Like, let us spend time more talking about God than the celebrities. Right? Because the media already promotes them, right? And then,
Yeah.
of course, with all their entertainment, they get that promotion. Well, let's not be promoting them even more in the church. Because after you've said all of that, I don't know. I mean, young people who are in the church probably will be like, I had not listened to her album. Maybe I should go listen to Church Girl. Maybe I should go listen to it. Because now it's like you're giving it credence up there
And
in
you're
the
talking
church.
about pastors trying to do this for clout. It sounds like you did it for clout because you've gone viral on several different social medias. Have you seen yourself lately?
The other thing that
I
just
just thought it
came
was
to my
too
mind.
much.
This is what came to my mind. Because I have seen a lot of pastors going really hard against Beyonce. But this is what has come to my mind just now. Do you know how many of our men, of the black men, black rappers, singers, like just how they have just, their songs are so vile and vicious, especially against women,
I'll see no
and
one
so vulgar.
Yeah.
I have yet to see a pastor
come out and talk about them.
talk about the male rappers, the male singers.
The male
I have
rappers
yet
who,
to hear them.
Yeah.
But they got all the smoke for Beyonce. You guys, please find me these pastors who are talking about Beyonce. Please find me at least 3 rappers that they have talked about so badly as they're doing about Beyonce. That's what I want to see. Because if you're not doing it for them, then what we're seeing is what?
Sexism.
And exactly.
Yeah. It's
Exactly.
so easy for people to attack women, but you had Meek Mill who had a whole album, he had a whole tour bus of black women bent over
please,
showing their genitalia.
Let us
in
please
cartoon
not
form.
say it. Let's not even.
Like,
He just
I
had a
mean-
very inappropriate, vile, offensive.
Like they go around
Depiction.
like they go around spreading
Yeah.
hate. They go around spreading violence.
Yeah.
Gang activity,
Yes.
and then basically treating women
Yeah.
like dirt.
I have not
never
heard
see no
the
pastor talking
pastor
about that.
Talking about one of them. I have yet to hear it. And what I want, all the pastors who have been out here putting Beyonce down, calling her a witch and all the other stuff, and how the white people, it's a cult and whatever the hell. I would like to see or hear that you actually spoke about, you targeted at least 3 of these men who are singers. Not Beyonce and her husband. I'm talking about 3 of these men that you've targeted them and you have spoken with as much ferocity as you have spoken about Beyonce. And as much venom. If you have not done it, then you're biased as hell. And, I can't take you seriously. It's just
Yeah.
an anti-Beyonce movement then.
Yeah.
And then there was another one. I wanted to really hit on this other person I saw on YouTube today as well.
Is that the one that you were watching with that?
That's
and
the one I was
walked away?
watching, right?
Oh,
And
it was her?
it's from no, this is from a different person. I think it's Kingdom Wealth Ministries, something like that. She's on YouTube, and she was talking about how Beyonce is a witch and how she had God revealed to her in a dream.
Oh, that one?
Yes,
Yeah.
about Beyonce, and it was weird. I was like, oh, okay. And she's saying all of these things, and then she says, after she has talked so badly about Beyonce, then she says, I have a personal story. I have a personal story. My personal story is I was an adulterer, which I was like, whoa, right? I was an adulterer, but God has fixed my marriage. But any time that I had to go see this guy, even though she was fighting against going to go see him, to get herself ready to go see him, she'll be listening to some Beyonce. So I guess she was blaming Beyonce for her adultery.
Beyonce didn't.
And
go
I am just
and,
like, miss me with that.
Beyonce didn't drop you off at your
Miss me
lover's
with that.
house. She didn't do that.
Like,
You chose that music.
I'm not into the mosque like that, but I was married before. Adultery never came into my mind, ever.
No, you were just
So
an adulterer. You were just a philanderer. You were a philanderer. And your music of choice was to listen to Beyonce. Beyonce did not say, hey, girl, let's go cheat on our husbands, girl. Come on, let me come drop you off. She didn't do that.
No.
She didn't even introduce you to the guy.
No.
So for you to go and say that Beyonce is
She was listening to
a
Beyonce
serpent or whatever.
and how Beyonce, some of her music can get you into doing lustful things and stuff. I was like, miss me with that. You were doing lustful things, being an adulterer because you wanted to do that. That was your choice. Yes, thank God your marriage is fine now. Do not blame Beyonce for your character flaw
You know
that
what?
had you out there being deceitful to your husband, running around with your husband. So just miss me with, oh, these songs can make you into sluts and hoes. No, you were out there doing all of those things that you called for other women. You were out there doing that on your own. You just happened to be listening to Beyonce's music while you were doing it because you wanted to. Adulterer.
And you have the nerve to stand on a soapbox and put someone else down.
But and you
My God.
haven't been an adulterer should make you humble enough to say, you know something, I know where I was during that time, and I can understand how you can get caught up like that. You know, let me talk about praying for her. Let me talk about showing her some grace. But no. Just like how people who are listening to you now, they're giving you a lot of grace because they're not bringing it up in your face to say, please don't talk to me. You were an adulterer before. Like, how would you like that?
Yeah.
You don't know what Beyonce is struggling with now. You don't know, like, what her personal, struggles are.
You don't know her from a bag of oranges.
So, like, just leave her alone.
And focus
But
on
yeah,
yourself.
that really, that blew my mind because right there you're not being accountable for what you did in your marriage. You're not being
Beyonce
accountable.
made
You
me
want to
do
blame
it.
her. I was like, well, when she brought that, I was like,
Beyonce made me do it. It just sounds like those men
those
who
are
go,
some of those things that you should probably keep to
It
yourself.
reminds me of that woman who was a pastor, right? And her husband was cheating. And she said, the woman was a devil and she tempted my husband.
That was
no,
the
your
Gray.
husband,
I think his last name is Gray.
Pastor Gray or something.
Yeah.
And she stood there while her man stood back.
Behind her.
As she was
Like
there
a
yelling,
mini.
going back and forth all on the stage, saying that I rebuke this woman.
Yes,
the devil's
Jezebel
coming
woman.
after her. I think it's very important for everybody to understand that we all have
No accountability.
we all have good and bad in us.
Yes.
It really what matters is
duality
what
there.
do we feed? Do we feed the bad more than we feed the good?
Exactly.
Because if you feed the bad more, which we can quote unquote say the devil,
Exactly.
then that's what we're going to do. We're going to do bad stuff.
Yes.
But it's a choice. We have a choice. The devil doesn't come up here. The devil gives us opportunities to follow him. For sure. Just like how God gives us opportunities to follow him and do the right thing.
Yeah.
But if you tell yourself, I see this woman, her breasts are looking nice, I want to go that way, you go that way.
That's what
you
you're
get
feeding.
opportunities to either do good or bad.
Yeah.
He had the opportunity. He saw her. He wanted to go there.
Exactly.
But if you are somebody, there's
He
temptation
knew he was
everywhere.
married.
Anybody can be tempted.
Yeah.
But you have to have self-control.
Yes.
You can't sit down there and say that somebody made me do it by force.
Exactly.
That's not true.
No.
Unless somebody had a gun to your head and threatened your life,
Right.
that's not true.
Yeah.
So you cannot say that, Beyonce made me do it.
Yeah.
You sound like an idiot.
Yeah.
And I can't
Well,
believe you even
sound
made
like
that
a
YouTube video.
narcissist. You sound like someone who doesn't want to take any accountability for her adultery behavior. That's how you sound.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
Every single day we get up, we make a
decide
choice
what we're
either to
gonna
be a
feed.
good person or to be a bad person.
Are we going to
It's
feed
a
the
choice.
angel in us? Are we going to feed the soul, or are we going to feed our flesh?
Exactly.
What
Everybody
are you
has
going
a
to
choice.
choose?
So please do not sit down here talking
Yeah.
about how someone's this and that. That's why
Yeah.
God says
And when
none of
you-
us are fit to judge.
Yeah.
Because you were obviously a sinner.
Yeah.
From your tattoo
Well,
that's
we're
on your
all
arm
sinners.
and the weave on your head and the fitted dress.
Yes.
And by the way, you're judging people
Exactly.
on a pulpit with your, influence.
Exactly.
I can tell that you have always obviously been a sinner and
Yeah.
probably still are.
Exactly.
So as far as I'm concerned, please go sit your ass down somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it was just too much.
It was too much,
It was actually
yeah.
too much, and it was really annoying.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like even when you are speaking so aggressively with so much venom about Beyonce, you're really feeding that spirit too. If you say her songs are filled with lust and all this stuff, and you are talking about it,
And listening to it,
you're talking about it to your congregation, you're feeding that. You're feeding that lustful beast inside of you. You're actually feeding that because you're talking about it. You're spending your time talking about that and all that. Okay? So just let us find ways to speak about the positive in life. And then you will feed the good in life.
yeah. But I,
guess
think
that
that's
was
it
it.
because we're
Yeah.
already on 30 minutes on this. But it's Mary.
And Amma,
We invite you guys to like,
share,
subscribe,
and comment.
and we
And I
invite
wanted
you
to
guys
say- I
to not
wanted
to
to
judge
say-
anyone
yeah,
today.
I think so. And I also wanted to say one very quick thing about Beyonce before we go. I really noticed, I feel like she's struggling with something, Beyonce. Because
I'm sure.
she has been looking really sad to me. You know, anytime that I see her out, even when she was in Dubai, even when she got the award in the Grammys, she just seems sad. And I really hope Jay-Z is not out here in these streets again, making that woman sad. But yeah, if there's anything that you want to do, why don't you just pray for her? Or are we not praying for people who we don't like? Or I mean, like, I don't know. Like, pray for her. If you feel as though she's on another spot or whatever, pray for her or reach out to her since you have, you know, the pulpit and the influence. Why don't you reach out?
Yeah.
Anywho,
But bye.